Hi, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. This is going to be part 3 of the readings that we were doing last week in relation to the 2020 rundown of the year review and predictions. So this is a follow-on from the video posted on the 19th of December 2019. What I would do is suggest to watch part 1 first, because that is the actual video that you would pick the pile that would sort of you'd be drawn to. This is part 3. So this is going to be those who chose this tarot deck here, which is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. Again, if you've watched 1 and 2 and you thought that was your pile and now you've picked this one, let's dig into this now. I'm going to try and get it within 2 hours. And I'm going to try and do some videos the rest of this week that isn't like a mountainous climb to watch. I'm very aware that everyone's busy at the moment. What I would do, and obviously I would suggest, is if it is too much for you to watch in one sitting, which clearly a lot of people would, is to just kind of keep referring back to it as and when. Maybe save it in your like folder in YouTube. Save it in a folder and just refer back to it if it is a lot to sort of handle, which I totally understand. It might be worth looking into sort of breaking down the months, but we'll see if anyone needs me to do that, sort of put timestamps, etc. So let's link in here with Spirit. Let's see what they want to bring forward for you guys. As with all general readings, please take what resonates and leave the rest. If you get into sort of a couple of minutes into this deck and feel like this is not resonating, obviously then maybe refer back to the pick a pile video from the 19th, and if that is still not sort of resonating, maybe look at one of the other videos. We're going to do a few videos this week as well up until the 27th. The 27th will be the January 2020 astrological insights. I've got a few bits and pieces this week we'll be doing, which include past life reading, a daily message for Christmas Day, and also we're going to be looking at a rundown for the next decade as well, up until the 27th. That's the plan. So let's get started. Let's get a link with the guides here. Let's see what the guides want to bring forward for you guys. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm hearing determination. And I feel like it's almost like you're, we'll get into the cards in a minute, but it almost feels like you guys are finally tuning a long-term goal that will be taking shape over the next year, over the course of the year. In fact, there's a few bits and pieces that they're sort of highlighting overall. I'm going to try and get as many messages for people as possible, but obviously, depending on who's picking the pile, it's you know, that's why I try and sort of hit as many areas as possible. But sometimes it isn't always possible. But I do try. So apologies if you watch all my videos and think none of this resonates. We are working on that. You know what I mean? It's always a learning process. So let's have a look. Oh goodness. Sorry, I'm just getting accustomed to the energies. The energies feel like with this pile that it's like I feel very emotionally spent. Like I've invested in a lot of different things, and it's like some of you guys might pick this pile and think, what is going to happen next year? I've spent so much time doing X, Y, and Z this year. It may or may not have paid off. When am I getting my time? They're saying it's coming, but let's dive in here. So Spirit, for those who picked pile 3, here we go. Cards are flipping already. For those who picked pile 3, please, Spirit, what is their 2020 review, please? What is it you can give us in terms of the highest and best information there for their higher selves in order to move forward on their path? What is it you can give us in terms of insights, please, for those who picked pile 3 for their 2020 review? What can you tell us, please? What can you tell us? We'll run into the month in a sec. I just want to try and get a kind of theme overall, first of all, if they want me to. Obviously, sometimes they don't. Yeah, okay, let's just pull one more here. So we've just pulled the 6 of Pentacles. Here we go. We've just pulled the Six of Pentacles, okay? This is almost like, and this is going to be an overall theme for the year, is a recalibration of lost, energies lost, okay? So this is the Six of Pentacles, all right, giving and receiving. What is it over the last year that you've given to that you didn't fully receive from? What is it karmically that you've sunk energy into that was not recalibrated into your favor, or was you didn't see a fair return? What is it you're going to be continuing to invest in that you are hoping will provide some energetic replenishment to you based on your dreams, hopes? We've also pulled the Magician, which is the manifest card. So this is going to be a really key year for deciding and discerning what is best suited for you. Okay, I'm hearing illusions. I'm hearing illusions. Have you sunk all your energy into one project or person or something, an idea, an energy, only to get to this month and think, I'm totally confused. What is this about? Because that's the energy I'm getting as well. So it's almost like they're wanting over the course of next year now to try and refocus your perspective into you, but also to see exactly what the reality is. Are you judging a situation, person, thing based on your karmic past, your hurts, your pain, your emotional imprint of what you've built over this lifetime? Or are you removing, healing those energies, transmuting them, and then looking at it from a healthy perspective? Because the thing here is this is starting to suggest, and we'll dig into each month, that there's a slight shift that you're going to go through here via your perspective, whereby what you thought you really wanted and needed is going to shift. And it's not because you're wrong, it's because it's like when you build a house on rocky foundations. How is that house going to stand the test of time? So what I'm saying is, over the course of your lifetime up until this very point, have you been in a lot of pain? Have you had trauma? Have you had, and obviously we all do, but have you worked through that? Because sometimes when we come from a place of viewing things via those glasses of pre-traumatic, or post-traumatic experiences, we're not looking at the reality of it. We're judging certain things based on what we've gone through in our past. And we've got to be really careful. The Seven of Swords is a classic for that. Because it's not just about theft, it's about an illusionary mask that's being removed, not just from ourselves, but potentially other people as well. So there's going to be not only a healing here from what I'm feeling and seeing, but there's also going to be a kind of recall of how you view things, because you've done the heart work, you've done the emotional work, you've done you've worked through some pain, so that when you're looking at things, you can totally see the bigger picture. For example, a classic example would be, are you attracting the wrong people? Are you attracting people that are also mirroring your pain? And again, you're probably sat there thinking, or maybe you're either going to sit there and go no or yes. So are you in a position where you attract the same people over and over and over and over and over again, and all they do is hurt you? Now, if that is yes, then is it based on the fact that these people are meant to be mirrors for you, so you can understand your own pain? It can be triggered to come up in order for it to be worked through and released. Because what will happen then, it's like a conveyor belt. Okay, so let's imagine a bag full of rocks. Each rock is a traumatic emotional experience, and we're piling in this bag of rocks. What's going to happen when the rocks get to the top? The bag is heavy. Is the bag going to be usable? Maybe, maybe not. Is it going to be hard to maneuver? Yes, because it's weighted down. Is its job, is its role affected? Yes, because it's under strain. Is it going to be effective moving forward? Not necessarily, because it's affected by what's in it. It's the same thing. Okay, so what we need to be looking at here, and certainly we'll keep an eye out between January and December when I'm pulling cards for it, is what's being released, what's needing to be released in order for you to start from a 0 point of view, or a 0 point. So a tipping balance has been recalibrated back to 0, because you've cleansed everything that was needing to be cleansed in order for you to move forward on a new path. This is about creating a new path and a recalibration. This is also justice, because it's a recalibration, a balance of the karmic scales. And it's not to say, oh great, so I've suffered all this heartbreak and turmoil and that means I've got to do all the work. Probably yes, because it probably means you're a more evolved soul and therefore you've had to do that because it's part of your journey. Pains me to say it as well because I'm included in that, you know. You know, these things I'm channeling is you know, I'm not perfect. So this is about removing the past so it doesn't affect the future, so that you can get a fair shot. This is about having a fair life. This is about fairness and balance, but then also recreating what it is you really need. Okay, do you want someone that keeps triggering you? No, you want to clear that karma, you want to release that so you can start afresh and start attracting new individuals, you can start attracting new experiences, because this is the thing, spirit don't just do, again, they attract these experiences to mirror to us what we need to heal. Okay, and as much as it pains me to say, because I'm very stubborn, when people trigger me, I'm kind of like, yeah, you got a point there, I kind of need to work on that, you know, because it helps me. Then I know, right, now I'm honing in on that point. You know, if people didn't trigger that in me, I wouldn't be aware that there's an issue there. And usually our triggers show a lot about ourselves, you know, very much so. So in order to kind of, you know, essentially what the triggering is doing, and trust me, this has been, you know, hard for me to admit as well, because when we're triggered, we're coming from a place of deep emotional hurt. And sometimes we don't see that. We don't see things in the reality that they're meant to be. Yeah. And we can sometimes, and I'm first person to include myself in this, look at things through a total different perspective and be like, why is that happening? Why is that happening? It's not so much why is it happening, it's happening to release something so we can view it and go, right, that's obviously not a healthy emotion to hold on to. Let's you know, work through that. Now the next time that happens, we're not emotionally reacting, and therefore when we're emotionally reacting, we're not viewing things from a certain way. Very important. It's honestly such an important thing to do. So that would include shadow work and inner child work. Look at things that trigger you. Okay, if you want to start ahead and work through this now, focus and pinpoint, write down all the things that trigger you at the moment. Write a list. Then when you've written that list, bullet point what exactly you feel caused that. What is it specifically about that situation? Because if we can pinpoint why, and it's usually around childhood, it's usually these things tend to kind of come up around childhood. You know, don't forget, you know, this is the thing, when we're younger, everyone has it. It's like our childhood is never really perfect. It never is. And then as adults, we have to recuperate and sort of build upon that so that we're not bringing that energy forward and recreating cycles, you know. Look at the cycles this world as an entirety has had. People recreate the same things, and it's not to punish everyone. It's because things still need to be released, because we want a 0 point, we want a balance, all right? And once you've done that, you are going to know what is better for you, what you need, because you're coming from a different perspective. You're viewing things in a different way. Trust me, it's not easy work. I've dedicated 3 years to that work. And even now, I'm still getting tested on it, you know. To be honest with you, I was the worst one for being triggered, you know. And even now, I'm getting tests. And I'm thinking, is this a joke? And then, obviously, the more I'm kind of questioning it, the more people, again, I'm getting spirit bringing these people to me to see if I've learned. And I'm thinking, and now I'm like, I get you. You're just trying to make me heal. You're just trying to help me heal. And as much as it is annoying, they're trying to do it to help us, because they want us on track. I want you guys, us all on track, because ain't nobody coming back, getting reincarnated back and doing all this again. I say that every time, and I mean it every time. And you're probably, again, this pile will probably understand that element. This pile is probably going to get that. You guys are probably had a real rocky type of scenario in your life over and over and over again in different areas, and you just want peace. I feel you just want to manifest to the good stuff, right? And I totally get you will, but you have to do the work. It pains me to say it, because like I said, I've dedicated 3 years to my own self-development. Like I was a hermit for 3 years to totally understand myself, because how on earth can I help people if I don't understand myself, you know? But I'm still being tested, as are we all. All right, so what are we going to manifest here? Now we've sort of collected and removed all that kind of karma. or that kind of healing work that's done has been totally kind of fulfilled, or as fulfilled as it can be at this point, because this is a lifelong thing, this message in particular. This is not, you're not going to get to the end of 2020 and go, oh, it's all done, because otherwise you wouldn't need to be here. So this is a lifelong, this is not just this year, this is also a common message for a lot of the years, but I feel like this year you'll probably get an opportunity to work through a lot of that and then reclaim how to move forward. It's almost like the years prior to that, you're trying to kind of almost transmute that in order to make a fresh start. It's essentially like that. Okay, so the manifestation will be based on what your needs are after the healing, after the work you've done, and they're saying, and it will be very successful. Okay, because there's going to be, again, we'll dive into the month now, but to see specific messages based on that overall message. Okay, but don't forget the manifest, the magician. The magician is someone who is able to go between the two worlds of the 5D and the 3D. This is someone who can bring a dream into reality. This is not a pipe dream. This is about understanding manifestation. And in order to totally understand manifestation, you have to understand how energy works. And in order to understand how energy works, you have to understand how universal order works and spirit work. And in order to do that, you have to do your side of the work, because it's a two-way street. You can't sit and go, I want all of the benefits and, you know, from upstairs, but I'm not going to do any work to show willing. As horrible and annoying as that sounds, it's I've learned the hard way. So, okay, so let's have a look. So pile 3, let's dig in then. Right, so January 2020. What can you tell us, please? What can they expect to see? Anything we need to be aware of for January 2020? For those who picked pile 3, what is it you can give us here? What can you show us? Thank you. Thank you so much. January, pile 3, please, Spirit. January. Let's have a look. What can you show us? I feel like, yeah. We've just got the crown chakra in reverse. Yeah. Okay, guys. This, for me, is a really good point they're making. This is the crown chakra in reverse, okay? We are disconnected up from here upwards, okay? We're not downloading the information. We're not aligned in a full alignment with our higher selves, okay? We're not in full alignment with upstairs, okay? So we need to do a chakra check first of all. That obviously coincides with the healing. So this is the 7th chakra, and obviously we would need to do the root, the 1st chakra, sacral chakra 2nd, solar plexus 3rd, heart 4th, throat 5th, 3rd eye 6th, to get to that point, okay? We must, well, again, we don't have to do anything, but this is just an advisory. In order to really connect, and obviously don't forget, we need to be grounded as well. The first point of call is to ground ourselves, okay? Again, look into grounding if you're not aware of how to do that. I would be doing chakra work. The reason I say that is the fact that they've advised that the 7th chakra, there's a sort of out of alignment, is we need that. We need to have that download from spirit, because otherwise how are we going to know what to do? For example, you watching this video now, if your crown chakra isn't balanced, how can you sit and discern what I'm saying to you is going to resonate with you? Because we don't listen to every bit of information and go, yep. We go, not sure about that. That feels a bit off. Yeah, actually my heart chakra, that kind of resonates with that. Actually, no, I can't relate to that at all. We need the crown. We need that crown, that clear cognizance of knowing, that inner knowing to discern. I mean, obviously, you know, the other chakras benefit as well for that kind of internal compass. But if this is out of alignment, we don't want to start the year off kilter, because then it sets the stage. And do you know, this is the thing, the last couple of piles have shown that we're starting to learn lessons and then they throw in another test. Guys, I don't know, this sounds a bit annoying for me to keep bleating on about, but let's get it right. Because do you know how many times I'm hearing people at the end of the year going, oh, I wish I'd done this? And I get it, because I feel like most people will understand that example, me included. I'm thinking, did I do enough? Have I done everything? You know, because this is the thing, this is my passion, this is my love. You know, spirit have helped me so many times in really extreme situations when I had no one, you know, apart from them. So I have to honour my path, myself, and also them, because I wouldn't be here otherwise. So this is why I take this really seriously. So when I'm saying you have to do this, you have to do that, you don't have to do anything. This is about your free will. You can listen, discern, decide, and then decide whether or not you want to do it. It's the joy of free will. But I just don't. I just know that from first-hand experience, having rebelled for years against this, and then stitching myself up that this is not the way, and my guide's eye roll every time. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? We need to make sure that we're in alignment, okay? When we're going into the January period, are we starting on the right foot? Are we starting as we mean to go forward? All right? And I don't know why, but it's like I'm hearing the guides could be trying to get your attention. Look out for your your left ear, sort of, you know, slightly either popping, or there's a kind of tone that you're hearing, because usually that's when the guides try and get through and are trying to get that vibration hit so they can get through to us. Look around sort of symptoms in your body, okay, that potential misalignment. So dizziness, so I mean, obviously not all symptoms, again, seek medical advice. Obviously I'm not saying if you feel dizzy it's going to be a chakra misalignment. Obviously there's other health conditions that could be associated, but I'm just giving certain examples. If you're feeling unsteady on your feet, for example, if you're sort of falling over your own feet, that shows that we're sometimes a bit not grounded, okay? So pay attention to your body. We've got to sort of, as we're getting into January, what is it, what symptoms are we getting in our body that are potentially highlighting that we're not in alignment, okay? Helpless and hopeless. This is the Eight of Swords. This is the Eight of Swords, okay? This is that in the traditional deck where you've got the blindfolded person surrounded by the swords and the hands tied behind the back. This is the illusion card, because it shows the illusion of victimhood. It shows the illusion of, and I'm not saying, you've got to remember, when I'm giving these points, this is not to say you're a victim and you're this and you're that. It's the overall theme of the card. So what areas can you see yourself within a victim mentality? I'll give you an example just to show that I'm not a perfect human being. So I was labelled from about 5 years ago as a victim, okay? By the time I realised what I was being labelled as, the damage was so bad that I had extreme psychic attack, to the point where it was absolutely a living hell, right? And I fought for 3.5, 4 years to reconnect that part of myself, to do a soul retrieval, bring back the soul fragments that had been the effects of scenarios that I'd gone through and being labelled that victim. Because what it does is it creates an energetic imprint on you, and then you repeat the cycle until you release yourself. And even now, sometimes Spirit bring these people forward and I'm called a victim. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, Woosah, what else do I need to look at here? What have I not released? Let's do a soul retrieval. Okay. Soul retrieval is sometimes where we've gone through extreme trauma, and the soul is not comfortable in the physical body to sort of really feel or stay in that environment. The soul wants to leave, okay? So when we've gone, and you know, some might resonate with this, some might not. This is just an extreme example so you can understand how this kind of card energy works. Your soul will want to be sort of imparted from you, because it can't handle that type of energy over for an extended period of time. It's like the flight or fight response in the body. You know, that's meant for a primal kind of urge or a kickstart to react to something. It's not meant to be a continuous bodily experience, because that's when there's health issues, because your body's not, you know, not able to calm down. Yeah. When you're doing soul retrieval or soul realignment, sometimes our aura is penetrated and has damages and has holes and has this and has that. And it's about reclaiming that sovereignty and then cleansing the layers. Don't forget, there are several layers around the aura that affect our bodies. Okay. As a healer, you know, they part of the reason I had to learn this is to understand how to heal. Okay. To a good level. So it was part of my soul contract. Okay. And at times, yeah, I was angry. I was like, how on earth can you do this to me? And then I thought, hang on a minute. Hang on, Jale, wait a minute here. This is not about me sitting there and, you know, and it took me a long time because I did research. I researched for years and years and years about this. I tried a million methods. Okay, I was told by people, oh, you're not empowered, you're not empowered, you're not empowered. Okay, great. Well, how do I counteract that? Silence. So this is all a culmination of me understanding how this all worked and then repairing it and fighting through it, literally to the point where alone, except with upstairs. Yeah, so that's an extreme example, but what it does when you're in that energy is it creates a blindfold to not see, to see only illusion, because you're viewing it from a perspective of yourself and the pain that you're in, right? That's what I was talking about with the Six of Pentacles and the Magician. What is the cycle here? Okay, what is the cycle? Are you empowered? Are you empowered? If you're not, if you don't have a reclaim of your sovereignty, if you're not empowered, if you've had a lot of trauma that's causes soul fragmentation, it's essentially the soul tends to kind of leave, you know, parts of the soul tend to leave and fragment. We need to call that back. Okay, one exercise you would need to do if you resonate with this is think of all the experiences that this has happened. Okay, what I want you to do is connect via your root chakra into the earth, ask Gaia to permission to do that, and then connect your crown chakra up to the universal grid. And then what I want you to do is say, I reclaim my sovereignty from this situation. You name the situation, do it one at a time. And I call upon all my soul to be returned to me, please, in its entirety. Thank you. And then you visualize the violet flame, okay, which is the transmutation of that energy, because you don't want it to be returned to you in the energy that it was, okay, because it needs to be healed. Then you bubble yourself up with the gold bubble, gold light around your whole body and your aura. And then you do a crystalline platinum orb around that as well, okay? And then you note how that experience feels afterwards. You take a few days maybe. You do that as often as you need to reclaim this. So if it's a relationship, you ask for your sovereignty to be returned from that situation using the method I've given you. Because I'm telling you now, I mean, obviously that's a very shamanic practice. And it might well be that if you do it and there's some changes, but it's still not hitting the mark, that you would need to speak to someone about it. By all means, email me. We can help. But what we're doing here is we're essentially putting your flag back on yourself, saying, I've got boundaries here and you're not coming through them. All right. And again, it's not selfishness. It's about a reclamation of you and why you're here in your path. Okay. We have to do that, because you are important here. We need everyone we can get right now. In case you haven't seen around this world, there is a huge shift happening with people becoming more evolved, more aware, more awake. But between now and the next year, there's a total recalibration where people don't want us to be empowered, because it means that we can see through things that aren't right. Okay, and we have a voice then, which is, again, for some, goes against their, you know, their agenda of you know, imbalance and wanting to cause division. As a light worker, my job here is to recreate a balance. That's one of my jobs, and trust me, like, it's not easy. And then to do that, I want to try and give as much information to you guys in order to also recreate your own balance, so that you can smash this lifetime. Because we need, between now and the next year, the light workers, the awareness, the enlightenment, the third eye, you know, your intuition, your inner knowing is going to be needed. Especially if you're one of these people that feels like you don't really fit in, or there's something a bit different about you, okay? But you haven't really quite understood what all this means. Even more so, we need you, because it means that you probably had a hard path, which means you're probably someone that is here to learn. You know, usually those that have had the hardest paths are usually very important here, from what my experience has shown. Okay, that includes you. We want you to do as best you can with this, all right? So let's have a look. So that's going to be for January. So let's have a look here. Let's see, February now, please, Spirit. What can you give us here for February? What is it they need to be aware of, please, for February, for those who have passed away? February 2020, please, Spirit. What insight can you give us? What insight can you give us, please, for pile 3 for February 2020? Thank you so much. Okay, excellent, excellent. This is looking good. Okay, let's see what they're going to give it. Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Your rewards from the work you've done will reflect in January. Okay, because we've got the Four of Cups here. This is opportunity beckons. In the traditional tarot deck, this is about the hand of God giving that cup through the cloud and someone not seeing it. Okay, they're looking at the Three of Cups on the ground thinking, why me, why me? And then meanwhile, Spirit have got that hand coming through the cloud to say, here's something for you. So do you see what I mean by the perspective thing? Because if we haven't done that work, how are we going to recognize that opportunity? Because at that time, we might be coming from a place of pain thinking, well, I don't want that because I want this. That has all the bells and whistles on. That's got gold glitter on it. You know, I don't think I want that. But do you? Do you want it? Are you coming from a place of pain, or are you aware of what's being offered? Because February, you're going to get that. And this is a test. I'm going to totally, you know, give this to you straight now. This is a test. Because what's happening here is, let's say, for example, you sit there and go, I don't want that. What they're going to do is go, okay, we'll give you more of what you don't want, what you don't really need, which is going to be more fuckery. That sounds really harsh the way I've said that, but that's how it works, okay? Observe everything in its entirety, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to start understanding how the patterns of this universe works. And to understand that is the key, because you unlock everything then. It's not easy. It's not as easy as I'm making it, but it's to highlight why they're doing it. Because what you're doing there is if this hand of God comes through the cloud and says, here you go, here's an opportunity, and you're looking down going, no thanks, no, I'm all right. I want that. I've decided I haven't done the work. I'm coming from pain still and I want that. Okay, but do you really need that? Or is that more of what you've already gone through? So you're now just bringing more of that energy in. Okay, so just be very careful. And they're saying, interestingly, what they're saying is, sometimes these come in very amazing packages as well. So the Three of Cups that you're staring down there could be coming in this amazing package, but something that is coming through that cloud with the hand, you might think, meh. But is it really? Or is it the illusionary energy that we spoke about in the previous couple of cards? Understanding what it is you need, okay? Because this is the other thing. If we're coming from a place of hurt or potentially a programmed subconscious energy where we're kind of following the rules of how we've been brought up or our programming as kids. Let's say, for example, we're in a self-sabotaging energy because we don't feel like we're worthy of anything. Of course, we're going to look at those Three Cups because we're still in that program. We're still within that kind of almost indoctrination of going against our own soul. So this is even more reason why we got to really try and understand, but is it what I need or is it what I want, you know? And actually, what is it I do really need? And where's this coming from? Where is this need coming from? Is it an attachment? Is it an attachment? We're trying to fulfill something externally that actually we need to do within ourselves. And I'll be really honest with you. The amount of readings I do where, and I get it, people are like, I don't understand why I don't find love. And it's like, do you love yourself? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I'd start there. How can you attract someone that's going to love you if you don't even love yourself? This is the type of patterning I'm talking about, the mirroring that you're going to get. And this is the thing, they're not doing it to sit there and go, ha, we're just going to sit and laugh at everyone because they can't understand this. That's why we're here, you know, because we have to try and, this is about balance in all things. We can't sit and go, can you give me £1 million, please? But I don't want to do this work. And I'm just going to continue on this program of self-sabotage because I can't be bothered, or it scares me, or I'm in pain to work through this, or I'm scared of doing it. This is another thing. Fear is another thing. Okay. There is a lot of, sometimes when we're in low vibration or continuing a pattern, is it a fear? Is it a subconscious fear? And again, don't take me at my exact words where I'm saying I'm calling you all like scared of life. No, I'm saying sometimes these very subtle subconscious patterns are basically at play because it's meant for us to heal the original reason for that pattern to come into play. So I'll give you an example. Parental upbringing. right? Did we get the love and support that we needed? Were we totally nourished in that area? Because if we weren't, it's going to carry on through the whole of our lifetime until we correct that and undo the work. And this is no shade against parents, they're humans as well, but you've got to remember, we can't sit and blame all our parents as well for that, because they're just doing what they can do, and they're on a soul contract and agenda as well. They've got to learn from this. It goes with everything. Relationships, exactly the same. And this is another thing I'm going to just highlight this now, because I feel like the guides are like, you have to say this now. I feel like the word narcissist is so overused. It's like, I'm not taking any responsibility. You're the narcissist. I'm going to go off and float off in my perfect cloud. Okay, great. But what's the actual real reason that this actually happened? Is it because we are in a lot of pain and we're bringing someone else towards us who is also in a lot of pain? And so it's meant to help us heal ourselves, but not to sit and walk off and go, it's all their fault. All of it is their fault. Because I'll be honest with you, spirit are not impressed by that. I do not entertain. And the other total random fact about narcissism is it's the same spectrum of empath. It's just polar opposite ends of the spectrum. So do you think spirit is sitting there going, no, we just want everyone to fight at, the equal, opposite ends of the spectrum and never understand this? Or do you think they want balance? Because from where I'm looking, they want balance. All right. And yeah, this is wounded people who are obviously, and I'm not sitting there excusing that behavior, because of course that's someone that's wounded that is not looking at their own issues. But is it entirely their fault why they're making you feel like this? No, you can't sit and project like that. Sorry to be real, okay? And trust me, this has come from my own long list of absolute failures in my love life, of which are famous within my family and friends, who literally are just like, she's a walking nightmare, when she's in a relationship. I hold my hands up, like, yeah, I was, totally damaged goods, Why do you think they've given me my healing ability? Because I absolutely was like, I'm not doing this. Absolutely not going to keep doing this, because I want to live my life and I want to be in a balanced, way of doing it. And I want to honour my soul contract and not come back here ever again. Because it's too much for me, And I have to work on that as well. See, that's where I'm focused on. Because why is it too much for me? That's part of my healing as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? So if you can correct this energy, or again, I'm not saying every example I've given is going to be about you. I'm saying, and I know that's going to trigger someone now, and I did it deliberately, just an FYI, because again, I'm a healer. What I say is not coincidence. It's meant to spark some kind of reaction, so you can actually look at that. And again, it's controversial, but I'm a catalyst. This is also meant to help, because we want you to be stripped of anything that doesn't serve you, to walk the gold line, what my guides call the gold line, which is in perfect alignment, okay? So you're not in the light, you're not fully in the dark, you're just in between, all right? If you can get to the point in February, you're in a position to manifest, because what they're going to do is go, okay, you get it now. Well, let's give them something they might want or need based on the healing they've done. Let's give them something they want and potentially need as well. All right. What is that? We've got an opportunity here. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, opportunity, strengthening bonds. Okay, so can you see that person walking through that tunnel with the light around them? They're perfectly intact. They're walking their path at peace. Okay, Ace of Pentacles could be potentially a relationship. It could be an even deeper commitment that you're in, and that's developing because you've worked through certain things that were maybe keeping you in a bit of a loop. Okay, look at any loops that you're in at the moment that are on continuous loop throughout your life or the last year, because that is also going to show you what needs healing. This is also an opportunity, because what it's doing is there's a coin being given here. There's a gold coin that is being offered. Okay, not only is that Ace of Pentacles protection, because Ace of Pentacles, they put eyes, when people pass over, they put eyes, they used to put coins in Egypt on the dead on their eyes as a form of protection. So Ace of Pentacles also means that as well. All right. The Ace of Pentacles is also potentially a move. Okay. It could be around work, it could be around money, practical. So again, you've done the upstairs work and you're balancing yourself perfectly between balancing that crown chakra leading you to the 5D, okay, 4-5D, and then you've done the practical work in the 3D, and they're sitting there going, perfect. Because don't forget, the magician has that. He's the one that, or you know, the magician, he or she brings that energy from the 5D down via the crown chakra, because you don't forget January was showing that we needed to rebalance that first. There's the outcome. Having done that, you get your offering. Someone is offering you something that is tangible, physical, that you want and need, based on all this work you've done via January through February. Okay, so don't forget, this is February. You're going to see that there is a positive element that will be offered to you. Okay, again, it could be an upgrade in pay. It could be, you know, a work opportunity. But it's based on the work you've done, because Spirit is sitting there going, great, this is a two-way street. You've done your part. Here's ours. Here's ours. Because this is the thing. When we're replenishing ourselves and we're removing what doesn't serve us, we're topping ourselves up. We're in alignment, as you saw that woman walking through with that kind of orangey gold orb that I mentioned in that exercise. We're in our strength. We're in our sovereignty. So because of that, we're totally replenished. We're spiritually rich. And what upstairs do is go, okay, you can acknowledge that strength and that richness within you. We'll acknowledge that as well. Here you go. Here's an offer. When you start understanding these patterns, it's so much easier, honestly. But it really takes a long time to understand them, if I'm totally honest with you. But it's not. You can, you know, it's doable. Okay, so that was February. Let's have a look. March now, please. March 2020. Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. It's getting into some good things. Oof. Oh my god. I just looked at the bottom of the deck as well. I love Spirit. Honestly, I actually love how they do these things. I love them. You guys are awesome. Ace of Swords, there's a bit of a clarity of belief here. We're thinking, oh, actually, this is awesome. We've understood this now. We've done the healing. The opportunity's been offered in March, and we can see how the deal is here. Can you see that butterfly has now transformed and is being released? The butterfly is about transmutation and transformation. It's the chrysalis stage in January, February with that healing. In March, there's a tangible result that shows what you've learned, okay? The Ace of Swords is about truth, is about clarity, is a vision. It's knowing and understanding. It's you're holding your sword and you're essentially sat there going, I don't need to use this sword, but I understand my sovereignty now, and I'm going to keep this here because I know my truth. I understand my truth. I understand what has been, okay? And now I can see moving forward what this is about. Simply love, Six of Cups. This is, I mean, look, apart from the fact that this is very much a soulmate energy, okay, this is about a reconnection to our inner child as well. This is about children, joy. It's simply love. We understand, and as you can see, the whole sort of very protective energy around that child. We can understand how our inner child needs that care and attention, that maybe we had been following a pattern that was where we were coming from a wounded inner child perspective, based on our upbringing, based on our patterns, okay? And we can understand and see how that doesn't serve us anymore, and actually we can top our own inner child up as adults and give them the love that they didn't have, or they didn't, you know, something happened within the child, and we're as adults coming in to correct that, take it as it resonates. But the love is not just from you giving it to your inner self, it's from Spirit as well now. Because we're in alignment, we can understand it. We're not going after situations that are never going to serve us long term, because we've understood how that works against us. And we're choosing to reconnect to ourselves and also others. You know, this could also be, you know, confirming that the previous commitment that was acknowledged around February, this is also carrying through with that as well, where you're really understanding what love is. Maybe previously your love relationships with yourself and others have been hurt you, or there's been trauma, and this is now time for you to really totally understand with the Ace of Swords how that has gone against you, and now what that love really is about. You know, it's that unconditional energy. You're not placing conditions on it. You're not expecting things. There's no attachment. You're in free flow. You've just, any concerns you have, you give to upstairs and you say, I trust in you that this is, if this is for my higher self, you know, please show me the way to work through this. This is what you do. You don't sit there and go, please, 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 please help me, help me. You sit there and go, right, there's obviously a reason for this. Could you please help me understand what the reasons are? And they'll show you, as long as you're in alignment. But you've got to be open to that. You've got to have the energy open. Don't forget that Ace of Pentacles, where that woman was that golden orb around her. She's in alignment. And it's not easy to sit and be dragged by the guides. I get dragged all the time. Like, you've got to bypass your ego to listen to that, you know. And that's not easy either. You've got to shape that so that you can work through it. I'm talking about myself, you know, and obviously if that does resonate with anyone, you as well. Let's clarify one more. So underneath the bottom of the deck here was lead, okay? That was on the bottom of the deck to clarify March energy. This is the Emperor. Divine masculine energy. The divine masculine energy has now appeared. Coupled with the Six of Cups. This is now a potential twin flame and or high level soulmate connection that is ready. Because you've done the work. You're not sat there going, why aren't they contacting me? Why isn't it speaking to me? Why isn't this? Why isn't that? Why am I not good enough? Well, actually, why would you think you're not good enough? Do you think you're not good enough? Because upstairs think you are. So you've done the work, you've done the healing, you've worked through certain things. And I'm not talking you've got to fit a lifetime of healing into 2 months. It's about looking at the specific issues that have maybe pulled you out of relationships before or been an issue for you. That's what I'd be focusing on. Everyone is going to be different in that way. All right, but mainly self-love and understanding how to top your own cup up first is important. Then you attract the divine masculine. And again, if you're watching this and you're male, then it would be the counterpart, the divine feminine, which is your person. You're on a level, there is a soul contract between you guys in order to complete a certain task, mission, energy, lesson within this life. So that brings you into a new cycle. So this is about wrapping up an old cycle into a new one for April. Because you've basically what they're saying is, well, you've honoured your work. Let's bring you your counterpart now. Okay, let's see how they're going to handle this. Now, obviously, we'll look in April what that means. This doesn't have to necessarily be love as well. Okay, this could also be your sovereignty as a human being. Because don't forget, the Emperor and the Empress are a collaboration of all the other queens or kings within their entirety who have come to a level of understanding. They have a perception of how things and energy works. They've reached a certain level of healing within their own life path that is allowing them to see from a higher perspective and or a higher vibration. Usually very much both. So it's essentially saying, great, you've leveled up. Perfect. So it doesn't have to be love. If you're watching this saying, yeah, I don't want love, that's fine. You're in a high alignment based on the healing you've done and they're rewarding you. Let's see. Let's see what they're going to reward you with. Let's see for April what they're going to say about this. So April time, please. Those who picked pile 3 for April. Those who picked pile 3, please, for April. What can they expect to see for 2020 in April? Thank you so much. April, and I hope you will not escape. 2020 April pile 3. So March, your divine counterpart and all the divinity within yourself has been basically recollected and acknowledged, and you're empowered in a certain point, okay? And you're ready to move forward. April time, little test. Little test, okay? Annoying, yes, totally relate. But they don't want you to build a massively amazing life and then fall apart based on a test that you hadn't fully learned, because it means you're just going to go back to square one. It's like snakes and ladders. And it pains me to say it, but it's true. I've tried every loophole known to man and got stitched up because they're like, are you joking? Are you going to do the work? Or are you going to try and, you know what I mean? Because again, I've always been a bit rebellious. So. The test here is about your own emotional fortitude. This is about emotional fortitude. You're healing emotionally. Do you seek your emotional strength externally, or do you honor it within yourself? Are you looking for your counterpart to honor your own emotional strength? Do you honor your emotional strength first and then they support you with that? Is it attachment? This is also sexual energy as well. Okay. Is there a need to be loved that you're trying to look externally of yourself for? This is all of these things. Let me read from the book so you can get a better idea of the sacral chakra. And I would be researching the sacral chakra as well, so you know exactly what it means. Okay, so it says I want. I want. This is the card that says I want. Remember what I said about previous months. Known as the sacral chakra, the second chakra is located 2 fingers below your navel and relates to emotions, desires, creativity and sexuality. To activate the chakra, visualize a glowing orange ball of energy in your belly area. See it spinning and sparkling. Feel joy as it grows larger and sends orange sparks out to the universe. By energizing the sacral chakra, you attract creativity, joy, passion and love into your life. This exercise can be used to energize any chakra simply by visualizing the appropriate color energy. Try it out, see if it works, see if you resonate with it. The deeper side to this, because 1 or 2 of you might relate to that and feel like that exercise helps, but 1 or 2 of you could also be on the other end of the spectrum where there's a lot of pain that is being carried here. Okay, if you are female, this could be demonstrated via the menstrual cycle. Is there an imbalance within the menstrual cycle and or hormones? Because usually there's a dis-ease, you know, an imbalance of the body that does reflect energy that's being held in a certain area. Okay, are you honouring your femininity if that's the case? All right, are you acknowledging, you know, that kind of need to sort of be open to receive? Have you blocked your heart chakra off because you're not open, you're blocked off? All right, again, this is just examples. I'm not saying everyone is going to have this is going to resonate exact word for word examples with everyone. This is also about your creativity. If you're not in a position where you're unlocking yourself, there is a creative flare or spark that's waiting to be unlocked that is going to provide your heart-centered joy. And obviously don't forget that kind of inner child does resonate on that very high creative joy element. So it does tend to sort of reflect back a potential inner child issue here again. So again, they've put all the benefit in saying, okay, they're showing willing. They've done, you know, last few months up until from January to March, they've showed willing. Let's put someone in their path, something in their path to reward them. But now in April, they're saying, okay, let's double check. Have they learnt everything? 2 of Swords, refusing to see. Combined with the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is usually that that mask. Usually someone's wearing a mask. They don't want to work or come from their own truth, because for them it's very difficult to show themselves in a place of truth, because it means they're vulnerable. If they wear a mask, it means they're protected. They don't want to sit and show the world who they are, because maybe they've been told not to be who they are. And I'm here to tell you, you have to be, we need you as you, not what society wants to mould you into, okay? And I mean that. If there's one overriding message of me rattling on over and over and over again, I don't like the idea that people are being put in labels and pigeonholes and told they have to do this. Do what is suitable to your highest and best interest and your soul alignment. End of story. Without any kind of argument, because that's what your guides would want. If there's anything you ever take from any of my videos, it's that message, okay? But what are you not looking at in April? What is the sticking point of this issue with that masked energy? Now, again, the 7 of Swords is about stealing. It's about that energetic imbalance, because someone's walking off with something of yours. What are you giving away? Are you giving your power away? Again, where you reclaimed it in the last couple of months and now someone's come along with a, you know, a little twinkle in their eye and you've given your power away because it's a test. Don't give it away. And I'm not saying shut it down and you know, be rude to them. That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying there has to be a balance. This is about a recalibration so that you're in your 0 point. You're not one end of the spectrum, you're not the other. You're in balance, you're in alignment. Okay? What are you not wanting to see? What are you not wanting to see? Is it your own pain you don't want to see, and so therefore it's reflected back on you with another individual? And again, even me, maybe I'm giving this message and someone's thinking, I've got to click off this because this is triggering the life out of me. While I totally empathise with you, unfortunately, a lot of my messages may trigger you because unfortunately I'm designed in that way. Trust me, it is annoying as hell for me. I'll be totally honest, but I embrace myself. So guys, I try to do it in a way that is respectful, hopefully. But if the message has to be given, I cannot sit there and go, I don't want to do it, because they're going to sit there and go, who are you to decide that? Because that's my job. I can't just sit there and go, hi, can I have all the benefits of being spiritual, please, but not take any responsibility, because then I'm a hypocrite then, aren't I? Okay, we've got to look. What is it we're not seeing here? Are we so wanting that love and acceptance from others that we don't even give it to ourselves first? We have to pinpoint what this is about, because, guys, what I don't want to see is so much potential for manifestation and happiness, and then there's illusions everywhere because we are upset or fearful or worried. And can I just say, my stomach, my sacral chakra is absolutely confused at what is going on right now, because I can feel a block around my sacral, a block around my solar plexus, and a block around my heart by talking about this. Focus on those, potentially those chakras. Again, if you've got issues from around any parts of that body, so again, from the stomach up to here, because I can, my solar plexus is doing all kinds of weird stuff at the moment now, because I'm absorbing this energy and I'm now trying to transmute it while I talk. Can you see they're opening the curtains there into the light with that dualistic double side face there? She's opening up the curtains of truth. Okay, because the reality, the illusionary element of he doesn't like me, she doesn't like me, this job, they didn't give me that job, you know, I don't have any money. Are you spiritually rich in yourself? Do you understand your blessings and your strengths? Do you honour your strengths? Do you honour yourself in your entirety? Do you fully embrace yourself, the person that you actually truly are, under all these layers that we project to the world? If you don't get me wrong, this is a lifelong journey for all, mostly all, but start on layer one, because this is usually the mask that we show, okay? And if we're showing a mask, what's underneath it, and why don't you want to show that? Is it because you're vulnerable and you know you've been hurt before and you're scared to show that part of yourself for fear of being hurt again? Because if that's the case, you're essentially saying, I'm just going to put a wall around me because I'm scared to show that part of me. And then how can spirit deliver a blessing for a wall? Because your energy is not open to receive then, is it? I want you guys to get this. I really do. With it being mostly blue energy, which is usually around the mind and the, you know, the kind of perception, we're also not in our heart center by being around that. So it's like we've blocked off that heart chakra energy. We've blocked off feeling. So now the energy is going direct to our head, and then we're creating all these illusions that aren't even real. And again, that sounds going to trigger the life out of people, but it's true. There's such an, we're in a dualistic reality in this world. This is what it's here for. You know, this is the thing. Upstairs, they're not playing games. They're not sticking us here so we can sit there. I mean, this is not an easy task to come here. I'm going to just be real with you, especially if you're fairly aware, you know. But it's needed for a reason. And everyone has a job to do. But it has to be done with you honouring yourself. Because otherwise, and you are worthy. You are worthy of being here. You'll actually also have probably usually these kind of energies have a very, very specific reason they're here. And it's needed. You're needed. In your full entirety, honouring yourself is needed. So that you're embracing yourself and you accept yourself. May, please? Please tell me that's not May. They're just saying it is. Let me do a double check of that. Please, no. I'm not going to accept that. I can't accept that. I can't, please. May. Oof, oof, oof. They want me to read this exactly as per all these cards. Okay. Now, this is May, right? And don't forget the cards we've previously seen. Tell me what pattern you see. 8 of Swords. Helpless and hopeless. 4 of Cups. Opportunity beckons. Lead. The Emperor. Manifest. The Magician. Each one of these cards has previously come up between January and May. There is a proportion of you that may be within this cycle still working through around May. Just be wary of it and try and do what you can, all right? If you are trying your best to try and identify what those patterns and cycles are, no one can fault you for it. And also you can't fault yourself. So try not to be too hard on yourself. Just try and do what you can, all right? For those who manage to break out of that cycle and pattern of energy around the May time, we've got 5 of Swords. Win or lose. All right? So what's happening with this energy here is you're in that cycle of trying to identify why you're bringing these experiences to you. But then you're also fighting yourself thinking, I know, but I don't want to let go of this yet because I want this. I think I want that. And then Spirit is saying, win or lose, this is about your ego. Sorry to be real. I mean, look, trust me, I'm cringing having to say all this because I don't want to sit and be rude to people, you know, but at the same time, I want you to really get this as best you can. Are you holding on to things because you don't want to let them go because there is a fear there, okay? If I let go of this person, situation or energy, I'm not going to have anyone. I'm not going to, because don't forget, we're operating from a perspective of this thing externally to me is going to make me happy, but I haven't fully mastered how I make myself happy. They're saying win or lose. Flip a coin. And keep flipping a coin because it's going to go in a loop. All right? But don't let it go on your ego to say, well, why is she getting this or he getting this and I'm not? Why, you know, why is that happening to them? And why is that not happening to them? Again, we need to go within here. 5 of Swords. The sword is now in the ground. The sword that we previously had with that clarity and that truth has been put into the ground. A point is being missed here. Trust me, I'm listening to this message as much as you guys are, because I know I need to be totally aware of this energy, because there's not a chance I'm getting dragged into that. Like, and I'm going to make sure I've got eyes in the back of my head, because I'm not getting into that. Like, I have not done this amount of work to get dragged into that kind of cycle, but it is easily done, which is even more reason why I'm like, right, note to self, I have to watch this video back, because I need to make sure I'm actually learning this as well, because I'm like you, I'm the same as you. Be very careful with May, okay? What is the way you're looking at things, saying I must have that? What is the reasoning behind it? Is it because you truly believe that is what you deserve, or what is best for you? Because if it's neither, then you've got to trust upstairs as well. You've got to say, well, actually, I'm going to have faith now that upstairs I've got something better coming for me. But by doing that, I'm going to trust myself, okay? And I'm going to release that, and I'm going to let them deliver it, because I'm not God. I'm not in charge of this. But by handing that faith upstairs, they're going to sit and go, they understand how this energy works. They've trusted us. We're going to trust them and give them something and see what happens. Do you see what I mean? Boom. Embrace the world. All right? So May time, there's an opportunity to close this cycle out. Once and for all. Don't forget, this is the last card of the Major Arcana. This is essentially a huge lesson that's being learned. And yeah, we've had a bit of to and froing between now and then. And don't forget, this is a general energy. I'm going to go into more depth with astrological energies throughout these months so that you can start pinpointing exactly what this is going to be about and what months are going to show what. But this is just to piece it together overall so that when these things happen, you're going to sit there and go, don't forget, there's a manifestation potential out of all this. I have to trust upstairs. All right? I have to trust upstairs. If I don't trust myself, how can I trust them? And that starts with trusting you and reclaiming your sovereignty and empowerment. Close that cycle out for May, guys. Do what you can. You can only ever try your best. That's all you can do. So let's have a look. June now. Let's see, June 2020. What can you give us here for June, Spirit? Those who picked pile 3. What's going to be happening around the June time, please? Those who picked pile 3. 2020, thank you. June 2020, please, thank you. Nope. Pile 3, June, thank you. Well, okie doke. Wow. Wow, guys. Okay. So don't forget, in May they're going, right, we've closed out that cycle. We're going to give you a little something now. I'm so excited. Oh. We're going to give you a little something now. All right. Now, some of you are going to get this, and some of you are still going to be having to work through that world and close out that energy, because we've still got the 4 of Cups. We've still got the 8 of Swords. All right. But primarily in June, the majority of you would have closed that cycle out. For those in June, and please do save this video if you are in June and want to watch this back, and maybe make a note of the timestamp as well for this energy. We need to still work a little bit harder on that. Could be still an energy. Okay, and for those, the majority of you that have closed it out, again, just be aware of that energy. All right, of things and energies coming to you. Because the Magician is back to give you your reward. Okay, and this is where I'm getting all smug now, because it's a really good reward, I'm not gonna lie. So, are you ready? I'm so excited. So June, the Emperor's back. The Emperor's back to lead. Once the healing is carried through, okay? Now don't forget, can you see this energy in the background? You've got that blue energy, very much Archangel Michael energy here. But that shadow, they've also done the healing, don't forget. That shadow's been looked at, that shadow self has been integrated and has been inbuilt. So they're also now in balance. So don't forget, sometimes it's not just about our own path, but actually they need to do that, the counterpart needs to do the work as well. And so we're just waiting for that, and we're just working on ourselves while that happens. But they're also now in alignment. So they're stepping forward in June, okay? And again, it doesn't have to necessarily be a divine masculine. It can be you. This is Aries energy as well. This is about a leader. This is about empowerment. This is about that dynamic kind of grabbing the bull by the horns energy, okay? So this could be you going, because Aries is obviously the first sign in the astrological kind of cycle. This is about starting at something new. This is very much the Fool energy as well, okay? So this is about beginning that cycle again from the first card in the Major Arcana, which is the Fool. So if it's not the divine masculine, it's going to be your new cycle is here. What is it you now need? Okay, what now, seeing from all this different perspective, making sure that when you decide, you don't do it from the 8 of Swords energy, a helpless and hopelessness, because you're healed, and the 4 of Cups where you're rejecting good offers for something that you think is going to be a mirage because it's an illusion. But this is where the test comes in, okay? So you may get more than one offer, all right? But the Emperor's here, okay? And again, if it's not a divine masculine, then it could be you energizing and reconnecting your masculine energy within yourself in order to rebalance and be that dynamic energy, that very much that solar plexus type of energy, that willpower and confidence, all right? But look who else appears. We have the Empress. Nurture. We now have a full set of counterparts within June in their power, okay? Making sure that these previous patterns are not affecting the current scenario, which is 2 people in alignment in their sovereignty who are now free of attachment. They are within alignment, okay? But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Because Spirit, they don't just give us a few little, sprinkles and a cherry on top. They want to make sure that we are understanding, that we are totally, I feel like crying now. I feel like I'm getting all emotional. Oof. They want to make sure that we are totally loved and that we are understood how loved we are, because we are here for a reason. They've got our backs. They're not here to just try and make us feel like we're just ridiculous or random human beings. We're here to do something, but we're here to honour ourselves. So what do they give us? The Hierophant. Okay? This is teach. Now, if you are not in a position where you feel like that is going to be for you and there is a potential marriage that's coming from this, because don't forget, Hierophant is the traditional establishment. So within this energy of Empress and Emperor, there is potentially a marriage, a serious long-term commitment via two divine counterparts. However, if you are not by June in a position where you even want that, and it's not for your highest and best interest, this is an alignment within yourself, that equal masculine and feminine, that yin and yang energy that is totally calibrated. This is also about understanding in its entirety the full perspective of what has happened from long time ago up until the June period, where you are fully aware of what exactly this is about, the patterns of behaviour, and you're in a position to impart that knowledge, because this is teach as well. So this is about seeing from a higher perspective, a 360-degree angle, and that you're embracing your sovereignty. I'm just looking at the clock now, and it's 11111. This is twin flame energy, okay? But again, maybe you're sitting there going, I don't want kids, I don't want, because this is, again, this is the full work, this is kids, this is marriage, this is the full shebang, all right? If you're sat here going, I don't want kids, I don't want a lover, sorry, I don't want a partner, I don't want this, I don't want that, then this is about sovereignty of self. You understanding your path and reclaiming it in its full glory, not as some smug human being that's got an ego, because obviously that is not balanced either, but in a very fair and just manner, whereby you are then supporting others, but not at the detriment to yourself. You are giving and supporting and supplying that very nurturing energy, not at the expense of yourself, however. You're doing it in a balanced and just way, because you are fully aligned, happy, and you are emotionally fulfilled. I'm going to pull an oracle for June based on these cards, because I feel like this is some awesome news right here. June, please, 2020, for those who picked pile 3, because that's some awesome cards right there. June 2020, please, for pile 3. What else can you tell us? June, with that Empress and Emperor and the Hierophant. What can you tell us, please? Pile 3. Those who picked pile 3. Perfect example. So when I mentioned with January's card with the crown chakra reversed, and I said that there's not a link to upstairs because that claircognizance, that channel of energy, is not able to get through because there's an imbalance. You're now in full alignment, as I've said. And what happens? This is a spiritual upgrade right here, claircognizance. Pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Okay? This is some heavy, uplifting spiritual energy. This is like your spirit team have had a rocket up their backside, and you've got all the new players coming in to give you higher guidance and support, higher wisdom. You've got a on-form spirit team, and that you're cooking with gas. This is just like a total alignment. Claircognizance is that inner knowing. It's like you're downloading information and you already know. You're not, you know, looking through an illusion thinking, oh, but I'm so confused, because you're working on old program patterns of behavior. This is you channeling from above, going, totally get it. And you're confident about it, and you're not overly confident about it, where to the point where it's detrimental, you know. So yeah, brilliant work. I mean, that's kind of amazing, guys. So congratulations. I'm really happy for you guys. Well done. That's amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's look at July. Let's go into July now. So July, please. July 2020, please. For those who picked pile 3. July 2020, for those who picked pile 3, Spirit. July, please. Do you want that one? They're saying wait. July 2020. July 2020, please, Spirit. Whoa. Awesome. We look like we've totally broken that first part of the year's pattern now. This is, yes, well done, guys. This is, July is totally, we're away from that old pattern. This is totally done. Yes. We're saying one more. Okay, guys. This is amazing. Leave it. Okay. Okay. Let's just absorb this energy here. Okay. Which one am I starting with? Okay. Let me just see how they want me to do this, because this is that they're saying you need to use discernment for this one, because this is a new cycle now of lessons, which means I have to make sure I get this exactly. Okay, do we want to do this one or do we want to do this one? Right, let's go with this one. Okay, so July, you've completed that lesson. Okay, you're acknowledging that you're, you know, how things are working, and that there's an alignment with someone and something that because you've understood and done some healing to the point where that is now being rewarded, because you've, again, it's a 0-point balance. It's a balancing system. The more you do the healing, it tips the balance in your favor, essentially, because then you get the reward back. We've got temperance here. This is blossom. Okay, so you're trying to understand how that energy works. Okay, and you're growing that. You're kind of utilizing it for in your favor. You're absorbing it and making sure that it's a part of you intrinsically. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords here. So this is meditative energy. So you're reflecting on your higher selves, what information is being given, and you're trying to recalibrate to the point where you're kind of essentially you're anchoring all of this energy into you so that you can best use that information moving forward. All right, at that point, all right, you then make a concerted effort to move forward. This is the Chariot card. So you're then, around that July period, you're just anchoring all that energy in, and you're making sure that all the little finer details have been rebalanced out, but you're not moving and you're not charging ahead before that has totally settled in. Okay, with the Seven of Swords also, this could be a slight rest period within the spiritual arena and or within these life lessons, just to make sure that you're understanding everything. The one advisory, however, is we've got the High Priestess in reverse. Listen. The listen is in reverse, okay? So your guides could be trying to channel information through to you, but there might be something that you're not hearing, okay? So it could be that you, before, you just weren't seeing it. Now you're seeing it, but you're doubting yourself because, again, that temperance, which is that, you know, healing energy where you're focusing on you and in equal balance. You're having your time for yourself, to sort of self-care. And you're getting into that pattern of behaviour, but you want to just charge ahead without maybe listening fully to instruction. Okay, let's dive into that and see what that reference is. So what's the listen in reverse about, Spirit? Because we need to, what is the listen in reverse about? And the Chariot, please. What's the High Priestess in reverse about? Okay. Okay. Let's see one more. Okay. There's something around the July period that is going to cause you to question your security. So again, we've gone from that total alignment up there to then we're being dragged back down into the physical chakra points. So your security, money, finances, job, you know, anything within this three-dimensional reality that is more in alignment with the physical as opposed to the spiritual, that is going to try and almost split you here, okay? So because you've got that very strong focus around that kind of physical side, the higher chakras are not so much in alignment, because there is a potential for security that we're focused on, where the High Priestess, we're not quite listening to our inner voice. All right, and we're making decisions. This is the Seven of Cups in reverse, daydreams and decisions. We're making decisions based on these security needs. okay? But are they in alignment with our higher self and our higher needs? Okay, so just watch for an onus on money, food, sex, anything that is very physical as opposed to more spiritual, because don't forget, it's not about being massively uber spiritual and then ignoring the reality we're in either. This is about alignment. This is about a middle ground, because don't forget that theme was the 6 of Pentacles, which is about a balance, a give and a take. All right, so don't forget this. Now we've also got, this is the I think this is Justice. Okay, this is detached. Let me double check that. They're saying yes. Yeah, they said yes, and then the book said yes. Justice is, again, the weighing scales of karma, all right? So this is about a new recalibration now, okay? Are you maybe doing 15 hours at work and then you're not slotting time in to meditate? All right? Are you spending money on things that are going against you on a spiritual level? So, for example, maybe you're with that kind of solar plexus, sacral chakra, you heavily supplied on making yourself feel better via food to top you up emotionally. So now you've got into a routine again where you're putting money into food and other items that top you up short term for your own emotional benefit, but actually long term you're cutting your nose off to spite your face because it's not really helping you. In fact, it's more of a self-loathing type of cycle that you're in. What are your physical needs, and what is outbalancing or outweighing the overall picture of where your alignment is? Because this is the July theme, all right? We need to identify that. It's going to be different for everyone, but there's going to be some kind of physical need. This could even be sex, all right? Addiction. What is the addictive side? Is there any addictions that you have? And if so, are they now, it's almost like an imbalance. Are you sinking money into things, or are you focusing mainly on the three-dimensional reality, and you're neglecting your guides, you're neglecting your meditation, you're neglecting your higher self, or your even your own higher best interest, you know, because that needs to now be recalibrated and looked at around the July time. All right, so let's go in to August. August, please, 2020, August. Pile 3, those who picked pile 3, August. August 2020, Spirit, pile 3. August 2020, pile 3, please. Interesting. August. Interesting. Alright. Hanged Man, observe. This is August 2020 now for you guys, okay? We're at a point of standing still to try and reclaim that objective that we had, that perspective. So we can see what that kind of imbalance in that root chakra was about in the previous month. So we've started to learn the lessons now. We're not charging ahead before we understand the entirety of the situation. We're trying to observe now and take a balanced approach to it. So well done, very good. We don't want to forge ahead just randomly and then decide actually that's just gone against us. So this is where you guys will tentatively try and look to see, right, what haven't I identified here, because there's a bit of an imbalance going on. All right. The reason for that is we've had the Tower moment. Now, doesn't have to be terrible. This doesn't have to be ridiculously terrible. But sometimes Spirit what they'll do is they'll come in and go, look, you know more than this now. We're going to come in and sort of rejig everything, because this is not meant to be your path. You're now going from a really aligned human being back into that very low density three-dimensional energy, which you passed that. We want to try and help you with this. So we're going to try and maybe move the path a little bit so you can see this, which is where this observe card comes in. All right. But it's also meant to rebuild because actually the building blocks that you were setting were maybe not as beneficial. And so they want to try and help you in some way. So the way they're doing it is a bit more of a direct way. Okay. So it could be, like, for example, I remember I got made redundant like 5 times. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so terrible. I'm like, not really. I wouldn't be doing this job otherwise. Spirit are trying to get me to where I need to go. And they're not doing it to be mean. They're doing it because I'm meant to be somewhere else. That's it. You know? Because they want us, this is the other card, base chakra. This is now to be aligned. That, in fact, it will be in August. Based on this observation of the Tower moment and how this is all working, this will cause that rebalance in your security. So if you're sat there going, I can't believe that this happened, but great, because do you know what you get from it? There's a gift with all these things, because it means you're recalibrated back to the path you're meant to be on. You're back on track. This is what they want, okay? And then what is more, even more amazing, you've got the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. So, I mean, this is some very powerful energy here. This is like a reunion of lovers, or a reunion of the self in its entirety, to get you back on track, to fulfill you emotionally. This is an emotional fulfillment that's being offered based on this Tower. Let's dig here and find out what the Tower is. What is the Tower, please, Spirit? You weren't listening. Crown chakra. Weren't in alignment. The root chakra was totally off. The root chakra, okay? Needed you to observe what exactly the reality was with this. We needed you to have that balance, and there wasn't one. So we had to recalibrate for you, okay? Not only that, but your solar plexus, that confidence, that willpower, you needed recalibration. There was the energy around your willpower was off. Your confidence was starting to lack. We had to do this because there was an imbalance in that chakra system. All right. Let's have a look around September. September, please. 2020. For all those who picked pile 3, September 2020, Spirit. What can you tell us, please? Thank you so much. Wow, that's cool. You guys have done really well. That's really good. Okay. Any more for September, Spirit? Okay. The Tower. Okay, there could be another potential for another change in perspective, another change of foundation, another change of energy, all right? Because what's happened is, again, the crown chakra's come into alignment, the root chakra's come into alignment, the solar plexus, all right? However, there's another alignment now, it's around the throat chakra, that needs to be kind of rebalanced. So are you speaking your truth? Are you speaking up for yourselves? Are you trying to suppress your own truth because you don't want to rock the boat? You want to be happy now, you're trying to sort of go, right, well, it doesn't matter what I think, I'm just going to kind of keep myself to myself because I don't want any more Tower moments. But Spirit is saying, no, you must honour your voice, because this is part of also your alignment as well. If your throat chakra and your true voice, your true feelings isn't being honoured, all that it's going to do is build another false illusion that is going to be Tower moment, and they don't want that either. This is about balance. This is not about sacrificing yourself or your voice or how you feel, or, you know, because you're like, oh, I keep rocking the boat, I'm being told I rock the boat. Good, rock the boat. If it means that you're healing others and you're healing yourself and you're not deliberately hurting anyone because you have a misguided need to hurt people, then why do you need to worry? There's a lot of problems we've got in the world about people not speaking out at the moment, and the loudest voice being the one that's heard, and then everyone's been suckered into that. Don't you get suckered into it too, because don't forget you've got that alignment. They don't want you to be either. I thought someone was knocking on the door then. Hello. They want you to be a balanced energy within this, because this is the Three of Cups. This is about reunion of self, reunion around friends. There could be maybe friendships that have been tested around this point in time based on maybe what you've gone through. Maybe you're starting to see things in their entirety, and then people around you aren't, and you're getting frustrated with them. So this is share the love. So this is about connecting with like-minded souls. That could also be where the Tower moment comes from, because now they're trying to move you into alignment with your soul tribe, or people that are going to honour you or are going to recognise you. Okay, share the love, the Three of Cups. All right, So this is also an emotional connection, okay, not just within yourself, but upstairs, mind, body, spirit. Okay, you, your partner, and upstairs there's a pyramid type formation going on. There's a contract in place that means you're honouring each other equally, and also upstairs. But by doing that, you have to honour your voice and how you feel. Okay. The Tower moment, okay, could be you speaking out against maybe friends or things that you know to be right, that you've learned firsthand, and people don't want to hear it. Because I'll be honest with you, many people don't. Because actually sometimes people enjoy being trapped in their own misery because it means that they can complain. No, I'm just keeping it real. And then it's, that they don't want to help themselves, because then it means that everyone will sit there and crowd around them saying how sorry they are for them, and they're not empowering themselves. They're the victim. That's an extreme example, but it happens. They don't want to acknowledge their own, empowerment, because it's fear. It's fear of the unknown. But I feel like this energy, you're going to be more, there's a perspective that you're gaining from all this that maybe people around you, not everyone, but just the odd few, may not understand, based on the learning that look, you guys, from January up until August we're on, I think. No, September. Are we on September? Can't remember now. There's been we're in September, aren't we? Yeah. There's been a lot of learning. You guys have learned a lot, and we're only in September. Like, you're getting to that point where you're now recalibrating who is around you. They say we are a reflection of our friends and people around us. Yeah, so you're now questioning that. You're bringing that into alignment. You're questioning, who is it I'm getting my, emotional connections from? How am I emotionally connected to them? Is it something that is, I can see this going long term with this person, friendship wise, or is this something that, we're kind of getting to that point on our paths where, they're understanding certain things and I'm understanding certain things. And if that's the case, then we just connect with people that we know are going to help us, or be on the same path. Let me just pull one more card. Wow. Nine of Cups. Dreams coming true. Wow. That is insane. You're honouring yourself, and they're rewarding you for it. They're rewarding you for it. You're saying, no, actually, I don't agree with this, or that's not really in alignment with my awareness. And you're not sat there going, I don't want to speak up because someone's going to ridicule me because I've got a different opinion. You're saying, this is my opinion and I stand by it because it's what I've lived through. It's not a mirage. I've lived through this. And although maybe you haven't, if you can't understand my perspective or opinion, then never, it's one of those things, isn't it? You're on a different path. The Spirit is saying, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, it just means that you're walking your own authentic path. Just because we don't have every single friendship from our, 0 point up until now, doesn't mean to say we're bad people. It just means to say that we're trying to honour our path. And you should too, because look at this Nine of Cups. This is like ultimate, the wish card. This is like your wish. And Spirit are acknowledging it by giving you that, because they're saying, good for you for honouring yourself. You deserve to honour yourself, so we're going to give you this because we're honouring you. Dreams coming true. And as you can see, that person's got that energy within their own hands. It's a tangible energy, okay? Don't be swayed to kind of giving that up. All right, and again, maybe that you need to be in that hermit energy in order to fully understand that around that September time, but you will understand it. This is the hermit energy, and this is the Four of Cups rearing its head again to say, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want these friends that are not, all these, these kind of connections that are maybe not, that they're not meant to be on that path. Maybe that you've outgrown that friendship or connection or emotional kind of connection, or that wasn't, it's played its course, it's run its course, Okay. October 2020, October 2020, please. October 2020. Pile 3, what can you tell us for October 2020? What can you tell us, please? Is that right? They're saying yes. Okay, so around October time, we've got a couple of different energies here. Okay, so you're honouring yourself. There's a few of you, again, Temperance card. This is that balance, that energy. You're utilising what was gifted around the September time and the lesson. Okay, you've also got the Emperor and Empress again. Okay, so again, you're in alignment. Again, if it's not a love relationship, this is also about being in alignment with yourself and that you're honouring yourself, okay, through those energies. And that you're sticking to the people and your own energy that is as nourishing as is meant to be, okay? So that's the kind of key energy. However, one or two of you could be holding on still to certain things, all right? They're wanting you to open your energy up here in October. They're saying this is Four of Pentacles. So what they're saying is, okay, great, I understand why you want to hold on to this because it's served, maybe it's, you know, as a friendship or something that you're not prepared to let go. But they're saying you must keep your energy open because otherwise, where's, you know, the energy that we're trying to give back to you, what you won't receive it because you're closed up. So open up. And that means letting go. Okay, so this is Four of Pentacles. Usually you see it as the person that's holding on to their money, all right? So you have to trust. Don't forget that trust. You're saying, right, Spirit, I hand it up to you now. All right, I'm letting go of this and I'm letting you decide what is the best decision, all right? And let's say you do. You've got an Ace of Wands here. This is new vitality. This is creative energy. This is a brand new passion project. This is also very fiery, very kind of dynamic, very heartfelt energy that means a start of something new. It's like you've now learned two very key lessons and that you are preparing yourself to charge ahead, honouring yourself in its entirety, honouring yourself, both sides of yourself, also potentially your partnership, but also mainly with Spirit. So you're honouring the three elements, okay? The feminine, the masculine, the light, the dark. You're in balance. And they're saying now you're in balance, now you can go ahead. What do you want to do now? What is your wish? Where do you want to take your life? What projects, what work, it's like you're looking at everything now. Once you've opened up in October and you're reviewing absolutely everything, okay? And can you see he's creating music now, which is obviously extraordinarily high vibration because it's as you can see, all the chakra colours are there. So there's an alignment happening. And it's like they're ready for you to forge ahead because you've understood what these two major things were about now in October, and that you understand that what you want and what you need. Okay, so what else can you give us here for October? Pile 3. What else can you tell us, please, for October? What else can you tell us, please, for October 2020 for those who picked pile 3? Thank you. Right. Life review. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. So it's just, again, clarifying the main messages here and the lessons. Let's go to... Let's go to the Wisdom Oracle for... What is this Ace of Wands, please? What is the Ace of Wands in October 2020 for those who picked pile 3? What is the Ace of Wands, please? Regeneration. You're starting afresh. You've planted the seeds. It's like the phoenix coming through out of the ashes now, and you're starting to regenerate everything based on your own needs, your soul path. You're honouring yourself. What is Ace of Wands, please? The balance is there, so the peace is there also. You don't have to defend yourself or sort of fight for voices to be heard. You're just in alignment, and there's an inner peace here that's being offered with that Ace of Wands energy, which is amazing. Congratulations, that's awesome. Okay, so let's have a look. We'll go into November now. November, please. November 2020, please. Pile 3. What can you tell us, please, about November 2020 for pile 3? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Again, this is a little bit split, I feel. Okay, so again, we've got similar cards coming up. We've got 5 of Swords, we've got the 3 of Swords, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, and we've got the Heart Chakra. Okay, so this could be 1 or 2 of you that are still trying to understand and really finely tune those 2 lessons. Coming into the October time, there could be more tests for you guys. We've got the 3 of Swords here, sadness and isolation. So again, there's an emotional imbalance. Again, with the Heart Chakra card, this is about recalibrating now the emotional center, the heart center. 5 of Swords, the win or lose, is again, that swords in the ground. There's a lack of perspective happening. And 5 of Pentacles, we're feeling alone. Okay, so it could be that with this energy that you haven't quite understood or worked through certain things, and now it's asking you to be pulled apart from that energy to really totally understand it, to then move forward, because maybe it's not meant for you. We'll clarify that in a minute. There's also an energy of balance, okay, with some of you as well. There's also an energy of balance. So in October, some of you could have already come into alignment, and that's it. The lessons have been learned with the 2 of Cups. Again, confirming that this is not just about a romantic union with another person. This is also a connection and emotional understanding between oneself, okay? And the balance has been restored, and you guys in October have already learned a major lesson, which means the majority of you will probably end up manifesting now what it is you need with that energy. And for those who aren't in that energy, we need to look into attachment, emotional dependency, codependency energies, okay? Because are you really alone? No, because we have spirit, don't we? We have that crown chakra connection, but we have to be in alignment. All right, now obviously we had the 4 of Pentacles before in the previous month that no one wanted to open up, and this is the lead on from that. This is the 5 of Pentacles, feeling alone. So did you open up? And if you didn't, maybe this is your own energy. And again, if you didn't open up, was it because of fear? Was it ego? Was it just, oh no, I don't want to let go of that yet because I've worked so hard and they're doing this, so why should I let go? But then what you're doing is you're going against yourself, all right? Which unfortunately is going to potentially create an unhappy situation for you. No one, like this is, you know, no one wants to see you unhappy because obviously you've worked hard, you know? Heart chakra, all right? So that's October. So just watch that, because just make sure if it's, you know, you're not in a codependent situation. What can you tell us, please? Yeah, feminine energy, yin, okay? So that opening up, that being receptive is very much a feminine energy. So look at balancing your feminine side. Okay, are you soft enough and sort of open enough, you know, to be reflective and sort of resigning yourself to what the universe gives? Because that's usually a very feminine energy, all right? So are you in more masculine, very dynamic, and I want this and I want that? Or are you balancing the 2? Because when you balance the 2, there is a balance within the self and the alignment and within your environment, as above so below, as within so without. Within you, if you're balanced, then your external environment will also be balanced. Joining 2 within yourself, as well as the dualistic reality we're in, dark and light, will also be balanced as well. So we'll be walking that gold line. All right, so let's have a look. That was October. Let's go to November. I'm going to also pull some of the, let's do all the cards at the end. so November 2020. November 2020 spirit. November 2020, please. Can you clarify November 2020 for group 3? November 2020. Get a few more cards before we start. November 2020. Okay. Okay, so for example, in the previous month that you were the balanced energy, you were the energy that was, you know, you're in alignment, okay? We've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this means that that's going to consistently move through, as I said, with that kind of manifestation, all right? The only thing with that is, if that is you, is just pay attention to the timing of it. Don't have a need to wait and be like, when's this coming? When's this coming? Because that's also attachment. You've got to release that upstairs. Waiting results, 7 of Pentacles. This is about timing, right timing, okay? So you just let that go upstairs. Don't sort of expect a time of when you're going to get manifest all these great things. If you were part of the previous scenario around October, where there was an attachment or codependency potentially still, we've got the 7 of Swords again, which is more illusion. Someone is not letting go of something because they're scared. They're scared if they release it, they're not going to get anything back because they don't believe they're good enough to get anything. We need to work on that, okay? And it isn't easy, these things. This is a lifelong, you know, sometimes a hard lesson. So just do what you can do. But again, seeking the truth, trying to understand the reality of this, and try not to be sort of, oh, why is this happening to me? And start focusing on being grateful for certain things that you are being gifted with. Roof over your head, okay? Because I know for me, sometimes I'll be like, thank you for letting me breathe, because I'm just sat there trying to look at everything, because I'm like, I just need to practice gratefulness because I need some blessings right now, you know? So I'll go to like, thank you for the socks because it's keeping my feet warm, you know? Thanks to the guides and my ancestors, otherwise I wouldn't be here, you know? So just, if that is you and you're struggling to try and work out in November time, why am I not seeing what's going on here? Where is this illusion over and over and over again? It's like the 7 of Swords is also about sort of talking yourself out of the truth as well, and someone else lying to you, and also you lying to yourself. So let's try and get onto solid ground where you can see the reality. But with the Wheel of Fortune not turning either in that scenario, it means that potentially November you could be still trying to work through that, and we're awaiting the results, okay? So let's see December. Let's see if the December 2020 for all those who picked number 3. Let's see December 2020 for pile 3. What is going to happen December 2020 for those who picked pile 3, Spirit? Thank you. Yes. Awesome. This is good. Okay. Okay. December. There is a healing happening. There is a healing happening here, okay? This is coming out of choppy waters and moving into more peaceful times, okay? So again, can you see that 7 of Swords? She was looking through the curtain, but she wasn't in the curtain. She's actually walked through the curtain now, okay? She's seen the truth. She's seen the truth, okay? Not sure if you can see her kind of look on her face. Right, hang on, let me focus on words because it's usually easier to... She's seen the truth. She's seen the truth. Those eyes, you cannot take that information back now. She's seen that truth, okay? This is now the Three of Pentacles, reach out. Now don't forget, the theme was the Six of Pentacles, which is about an equal give and take, right? What has she seen? She's seen her own responsibility within the pattern. He has seen his own responsibility within the pattern. Half of 6 is 3. So what's going to happen here is you guys will be reaching out, and the other person will also equally reach out, which will create that balance, that 6 of Pentacles. So you're taking your own responsibility now, and you've learned a major lesson. You've healed. Amazing. Previously you didn't want to see it. It was a blindfold. You were undecided. You weren't sure. This is the devil energy. You were ruled mainly by maybe sort of a need for, I don't know, any addictive behaviours or something that wasn't quite serving your highest and best interest, because you didn't want to see it. It was a reliant upon something that wasn't you. But you've decided bravely to walk through and honour yourself and allow Spirit to help you, to allow yourself to be helped and supported, and also take equal responsibility. All right, which is amazing. Congratulations. That's a huge outcome, please, for 2020. What is the outcome, please, for 2020? What is the outcome, please? You're taking charge. You're taking the lead. But you're doing it in a balanced way. Okay? You're looking for your future now, and you can see clearly the perspective. Alright? You're manifesting that based on what has been previously come before you. You've come together in all elements. Alright? You've rebuilt. The tower's knocked down things that don't serve, and you're starting to rebuild. You're leading, but also you're letting someone else take the lead. Okay, depending on what happens, either that's Spirit or you or your significant other or friends. But you're recalibrating as and when needed. You're not holding on for dear life and controlling the situation, thinking that that's going to serve you. You're letting it go as and when. Let's get some more clarifiers for, first of all, for December. December 2020, for all those who picked number 3, please, Spirit. What's the outcome? Pile 3, December 2020. What's the outcome, please? December 2020, pile 3. What is the outcome? Peace, because you already know that you're recalibrated, your balance, rest and rejuvenation. That's that 4 of Swords energy, very meditative state. You're absorbing what the information that's being imparted to you in order to move on to a next chapter peacefully. Blue is also for communication and truth, because you can see exactly what this is highlighted and what you've learned from it. He's at peace. He's also in alignment with Spirit, because he's understood the illusion that was previously trapping that person, you know. The thinking woman, same for man. You're now strategically looking at where you're going to take this energy, how you're going to best use it. Okay, and you're doing it from a balanced space. You're manifesting. You're in full manifestation mode. You're in full manifestation mode, and you're cooking with gas. You're balanced. There's an equal energy to all this. Okay. There is also a love interest, and if it's not you, if it's not someone else, it's gonna be you understanding and honoring you. Emotional fulfillment. The 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Okay, this is also the truth. This is the throat chakra. You've honored your truth. You've seen and you've accepted your truth, and you're honoring that. Okay, this is about clear communication, clear kind of give and take. Right, let's pull some Keepers of the Light deck to give some more messages for outcomes. Okay. Okay, so Spirit, Keepers of the Light, what messages do you have for the outcome, please, of 2020? What is it those who picked path 3 need to be aware of? 2020 outcomes, please. 2020 outcomes. What messages do you have for those who picked? This is the Keeper of the Light deck, by the way, and it's the pictures on them that absolutely get me, because I can pick the energy up so much easier. I love this deck. This is like one of my new decks as well. Number 3, outcomes, please. 2020, those who picked path 3. Those who picked this is interesting. Okay, so you've pulled Charity. This is prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. That is some strong energy. Okay, Charity. Call upon Charity if at any point during the year you would like some support. Charity will support you with that. You just have to ask for her by name. Okay, try it out. It works. I did this with a friend over the weekend and it blew my mind. I read for myself these cards sometimes as well, and it still blows my mind. Okay. Faith, hope and charity are a trinity of archangels who are dedicated to helping us regain our natural traits of kindness, trust and faith in the highest good. Charity is a twin flame of Archangel Chamuel. She has a great spirit that encourages us to undertake the spiritual practices of prayer and meditation. Prayer is the way we speak with the divine, and meditation is the way we open ourselves to receive the answers we need to hear. Charity is also the angel who kisses the forehead of all those who pray in support of others. She absolutely loves to see this kindness because it creates an inspirational healing wave of goodwill to the world. The powerful Archangel Charity is drawing close to you at this time because she recognizes that you have goodness in your heart and that you have put others first. She brings you thanks and support. Move into prayer and meditation with regards to any decisions you have to make. You are being guided to take the time to breathe and receive. Know that you will have a real surge of intuition when it's time to move forward. Thank the angels for guiding you towards your highest good and welcome Charity into the space with you. Right, so I'm just going to pause it on her face so you can really get that energy, because she is, look into her eyes as well. I know that sounds a bit weird, but it's just such a strong energy once it actually focuses. Amazing. Okay, so we've also got Commander Ashtar as well. Call to action, take charge, lead by example. And it says, walk your talk. Okay, I'll read that for you. Ashtar, also known as Commander Ashtar, is a multi-dimensional being who promotes truth, peace and harmony between the planets. He is said to be an extraterrestrial but appears in human form so that he can communicate at heart level with all those on Earth who call on him. He is part of the Great White Brotherhood, a congregation of light beings who work to bring healing to the world, and is a wonderful guide to those who are feeling the call to bring positivity, healing and inspiration to those around them. He lifts the hearts of the leaders and inspires them to walk their path with complete integrity. You are receiving a call to action and being asked to step up and create the changes you want to see in the world. Divine inspiration is all around you, and Ashtar and his legion of cosmic angels are standing by to offer you loving support. Know that you are being encouraged to be honest, assertive and true in a loving way. You may feel your ego trying to hold you back, but know that when you take the first step, the next one will soon follow. Take some time to connect with the universe by looking up at the stars, knowing that there are loving beings of light gazing back down on you. You are not alone. That's awesome. Okay, and what other deck am I going to use? Let's pull some of these cards here. The Archangel Power card, Oracle cards. Outcomes for 2020, Spirit. What are the last messages? Last messages, please, for pile 3 for 2020. Outcomes, please. Messages, final messages for those who picked pile 3 for 2020. Thank you. You are safe. I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones and your home. You're protected. Creative writing. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article or book. Okay, that will channel a lot of that energy out as well. Very useful. Any final messages, please, for those who picked? You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honour yourself and your feelings. Okay. Awesome. And let's see. Outcomes for 2020 for those who picked pile 3. Outcomes. This is the final pull, I think. Don't think there's anything else I want to say. Final outcomes and messages, please, for those who picked pile 3, Spirit. Thank you. Any last things you want to say? Message in a bottle. This is about channeling information. Your spirit team trying to get information to you. Acknowledge that. That's going to be something you'll be working towards. Make sure that you know, you're open and receptive to receiving, because they do want to help. Final message. There's no place like home. Okay, you're going to find your soul tribe. It's like soul family. It's like you're finding your place, essentially. 2020 is you finding your rightful place. All right, guys. So hopefully that's been of some help. Hopefully. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So for the remainder of the week, as I say, we're going to do sort of other picker cards. I'm going to do a general daily message as well for Christmas, because I know some people do prefer those. We're back on the 27th for Aries for the January 2020 energies. Again, we're breaking down month by month as usual. If you need to get hold of me, personal readings information is in the description box. Do email me. And have a wonderful Christmas. Have an amazing new year and take good care of yourselves. Thanks. Bye.